We get going into the game. Dexter Kennedy, I can see, number 18 on the ball there for South. Players here, no trouble for Harms, and he takes them up. Wayne Harms, the Len Smith medal winner in the grand final last week, and a great kick down towards full forward. In comes Peter Moore. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up by Cloak. Onto the boot from Cloak, and the first score of the match, 1 point, and a pretty quick opening from Victoria, Kevin.
Yes, they've attacked pretty strongly there, and Wayne Harms, I notice, took the ball right away from that middle end. An excellent piece of work by him.
Well, waiting for the full-back from South Australia, Sorrell, to bring the ball into play, and goes out towards the left half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. More in the van for Victoria. Tries to hand pass, comes unstuck as South Australia is starting to overdo the hand passing now as a bit of interference takes place on the outer side of the ground, and the free kick going the way of Victoria's Ian Dunstan. Just forward of the right half forward flank. Kicking in towards full forward. Slightly offline, and 1 point is registered. So Victoria now on the scoreboard move to 2 points. South Australia yet to score.
And there's Michael Taylor taking the kick in now, and he swings it over the flank, taken there by Kennedy. He's in the left back pocket on the outer side of the ground, up towards half back. Oh, nobody home at all for South Australia. Dempsey, no trouble. Big Gary Dempsey, right half forward flank. Centres the ball in towards full forward, looking for Cloak. He doesn't let him down, and Cloak in front of his opponent, no trouble in taking the mark, 20 metres out, directly in front. Here's the big fellow now. Certainly an advantage, and South Australian backs have to punch that ball away. Kicking with the slight breeze over his right shoulder. Plenty of time with this one. Puts it under the boot. And once more it's offline and through for the minor score. And these South Australian backs will have to watch these Victorian forwards, Kevin.
Yes, they always have a good understanding, Bob, and Dempsey then was looking for the hand pass for someone going by, but he found Cloak with an excellent kick.
Michael Taylor going in short to Corns, and Corns takes a great mark. Corns left full back pocket, only made about 30 metres, but he's going towards the outer side. Oh, shocking kick into the man on the mark, which is Tuck. He quickly grabs it. Into the pocket is Flower. He's only 20 metres out onto the boot. A great kick from Robert Flower, and through for 4 points to Victoria.
Good understanding then, and just goes to show you the perseverance of players. Michael Tuck in particular then was watching Corns as he kicked that ball, was able to smother it and get the ball back to Robert Flower, and who weaved his way through the pack and put an excellent goal, and the first goal of the game to Victoria.
G'day.
But through comes the Victorian defence, and that's Bill Picken. Well, very colourful player, Picken, and interstate football doesn't make any difference to him, and he's getting a gain of 15 metres. So he drives Victoria down towards the centre of the ground. Big fellas flying. Schimmelbusch a chance now as he leads in the race to the ball. Plenty of pace on. Gaining possession is Klomp for South Australia. Hand pass astray, picked up very quickly by Dunstan. Hand pass to Flower. Victoria look good as they've found their little rover now, Wilson, on the right half forward flank. In towards the right full forward pocket, and the big height of Crow into the air to take the good mark. So again, Victoria winning the race to the ball, creating the loose man and doing the right thing. Oh, that's Kelvin Templeton, yeah. No distance shouldn't be beyond him. It's not a good kick. Rather awkward looking kick, but it registers a point. So Victoria on the board now at the 4.5 minute mark, moved to 1 goal 4, and South Australia still yet to register a score.
And that's the end to which Victoria kicking with that light breeze, and Taylor kicks towards a half back line. Plenty of players here for Vic. Gallagher trying to pick it up, but he can't do so. The loose player going past his range, and he hits a high kick in towards full forward. It's a beautiful kick. Waiting behind is Warwick Irwin, but once more the ball's forced through for the minor score, and well, that's the way to come down, Victoria, coming down that flank and finding some of these South Australian backs out of position. Kick in once more by Michael Taylor. He's been a pretty good interstate player for South Australia. He doesn't get much distance with this one. Fortunately into the air and taken by Gallagher. Gallagher works around up towards Kennedy, and Kennedy accepts the pass. He's at half-back, outer side. South Australia going forward now up towards that half-forward line, but out of position, the South Australian players, and Rains, no trouble. No, it's here, taking that mark in the centre. Quickly puts it further afield. Plenty of pressure in this first quarter, but it's all Victoria at the moment. They're trying to come away with it, South Australia in the centre. Here's a chance now, right in the centre of the ground. Nobody can pick it up. Michael Turner can. Look at the pace of this fellow. Gets around under that right foot, puts it down towards a half-forward flank. Well taken there by Greg Phillips.
Well, Phillips steadies down, went to play on. Umpires told him he should, and he's gone around Cloak and drives South Australia to centre half-forward. Oh, big fly here from a player there for South Australia and Jonas. Can't mark. Duel in the van. Knocked down to ground. Victoria come away very quickly now to find Wilson in the centre. Long hand pass to the penetration of a teammate in Schimmelbusch. Knocked further afield. Umpires blowing the whistle. And Schimmelbusch, no, it's not. It looks like it will be their full forward again in Templeton, who will take the free kick. Well, tall fellow, Templeton. Scored a lot of goals in Victorian football. See if he can do any better from this position. The last time it was an awkward looking kick, but he's very deliberate now as he's moving in. Ball into the air. Again offline. So Victoria very inaccurate in the opening moments of the game. Have moved now on the scoreboard to 1 goal, 6. South Australia yet to score at the 8-minute mark in the first quarter of play.
And the Footscray full forward, of course, not having the best luck. There you can see the flags in the background and very little breeze wafting down there, and certainly not much advantage to the side that's kicking that way. A good kick out this time. Up towards the flank. Buttons in there, can't mark it. Picked up by Turner. He's at half forward. Plenty of time to go around to Moore. And the Brownlow man. No, it's play on, says the umpire. Looked like he's getting a kick. Button brings it out. Lindsay throws himself in, and umpire Cape says he'll bounce it down on the half forward flank for Victoria. Members stand side. Moore there opposed to Button. Corns gets it out. Wilson roving, and umpire Capes to do the bounce again. Well, the South Australia certainly have to apply the pressure in this first quarter to stop that Victorian breakaway. Neil Button, the burly South Australian ruckman, opposed to Terry Moore. Moore gets in front, taken by Corns. Shovels it out well, picked up by Ebert. Some of these Victorian players trying to get the South Australian side going. Out it comes to Morris. He's hotly pressed by Turner. Play on, says the umpire, and that was a good call as Ebert takes it. Puts it in towards Jonas. He's in the centre of the ground, showing plenty of pace. Well done, Peter Jonas. Gets it further afield to Blight. Plenty of pressure on their Cloak. Duel, he's holding the ball, and the free kick must go to South Australia and Malcolm Blight to take it.
Well, and he boots South Australia right up now, midway between centre half forward and full forward, or Victorian defence firm. Moore takes the sound mark. Steadies the game down, now looks for a hand pass over towards a teammate here in Folds. Hand pass back again. And Moore this time gets distance with the kick up towards centre half forward, where there's a chance for Schimmelbusch. The ball down onto the ground. Ebert comes through to knock on over towards a teammate here in Kennedy. Kennedy steadies. Not a good pass out towards the right half forward flank. Kelvin Moore downfield again, and the ball out of bounds. Well, on the right half forward flank, going up towards the right of your screen. Dempsey taps down now. A chance for Harms onto the left boot. Picked up very quickly here by Lindsay of South Australia, but the South Australian forward area not playing well at all. It is Crow now in defence, just bursts away. Long kick towards the centre of the ground. Good play there as Flower takes possession, drives up towards full forward. Last line of defence for South Australia, and it's Michael Taylor who's taken the mark.
Michael Taylor comes out here on the far flank looking for Phillips, and finding that player at the moment with a lucky bounce. Greg Phillips puts it further afield, a chance for Kennedy. He's at right centre wing. Kicks into the breeze up towards that end of the ground. No mark paid. Chance for the South Aussies. Once more picked up by Lindsay. He's a good young player, this fellow. Puts it in towards full forward. Here's a chance for them. It's through. Great kick by Lindsay. Bruce Lindsay, the young winger.
Dempsey taps, but all sharked brilliantly here by Malcolm Blight. South Australia up towards full forward. Right full forward pocket. A chance there for Bennett. Dragged to the ground. Moore cleverly comes away onto the left boot towards the left half-back flank, and a good mark there taken by Irwin of Victoria, number 18. Watched pretty closely there by Hodgman. Irwin now. Going to drive towards the left centre wing. Up they go. Oh, good mark. Good mark there by Max James. Coming back to play for South Australia in the State of Origin game and playing for South Melbourne in Victoria. Kicks towards the centre. Chance again for Lindsay. Bursts out of the pack. Hand pass quickly to a teammate there in Gallagher. Good enough to get it onto the right boot and drive it to the right half forward flank. Coming through Ebert, strength, hand pass astray, and allows Turner of Victoria in to kick back towards the centre of the ground, where it's a mark to Flower of Victoria. Very damaging player, Flower, when allowed to go, and now moves around onto the right boot. Kicks towards Cloak. Strength here as he knocks the ball in front of him. Well shepherded by a teammate. Hand passes on over towards Rains. Drives Victoria to full forward. Chance for Templeton. The ball on the ground with Malcolm Blight. Left boot. Out wide into a wide open paddock on the outer side of the ground. Schimmelbusch leads in the race. Gains possession. Kicks back towards full forward. A chance for Templeton, and he has marked very, very easily indeed in the full forward area. Well, the South Australian defence are pretty lax on a lot of occasions. They're giving too much start to their respective opponents, and Victoria very quick to capitalise. Templeton, third deliberate shot towards goals, and makes no mistake this time to bring up Victoria's second goal on the board.
Player, this fellow, puts it out to the flank. There he is again, Robert Flower. Great player, this fellow. Puts it in towards the centre. Chance for Bill Picken. He drives a long one towards full forward. Schimmelbusch. Well knocked over by Schimmelbusch. There he is, Gary Dempsey in the square. He has missed from point-blank range. A vital opportunity there for big Gary Dempsey to put it through. A great kick from Picken there, and a good play by Schimmelbusch to bring that ball over.
Certainly was courage football, Bob, the way he went straight for the ball.
Certainly was, and that's the way they play it, Frank. Taylor to put the ball back into play, and well, the skipper for South Australia is still at centre half forward. Perhaps he should come on the ball. Plenty of players in this one. Play on, says the umpire. Out it comes to Rains. Bartlett in the left full forward pocket. Sparring for the kick is Kevin Bartlett, as we all know, but he's not getting this one. And umpire Capes is going to bounce it down about 20 metres around from the goals. In comes the tall timber now. Kennedy, oh, beautiful pass from Dempsey over the back of the pack. Rode well by Wilson. And holding the ball, says the umpire. And the kick going to Greg Phillips of South Australia.
Well, Phillips now goes for the short hand pass over towards the teammate here in Lindsay. The ball towards the right centre wing. Moore taps away. Ebert in the van for South Australia. Up towards forward of the centre half forward position. Taken very quickly by Graham. Hand pass onto Jonas. Interference. Dool was desperate then, but Jonas had to fly, and Dool thought, well, possibly better to give a free kick than to let him run in towards an open goal. So South Australia have worked the ball well into their forward line, and we see now Peter Jonas a chance to score from about 40 metres out. Kick on the way. Goal umpire has to race, waits for the all clear, and it's only 1 point. 15-minute mark in this quarter of play. Victoria 2 goals 7, South Australia 1 goal 1.
And Rains has had the most kicks. He's had 5 for Victoria. Turner's had 3, Flower 3, and Kennedy 4 for South Australia, and Blight and Ebert 3 each. And there's a kick. It's a good one. Right out towards Peter Moore. He can't get it. Centre half forward, a great battle going on there. South Australia not giving in. Malcolm Blight in it again. Gets his foot to the ball. Lindsay very close to the line. I think it's kicked out of bounds on the full. Well, bad luck there to Gary Foles, and the kick to be taken by South Australia. And once more, it's that young player, Bruce Lindsay, who's had a pretty good season in South Australia. This is his 5th kick. Puts it well into the forward line, looking for the tall timber. Plenty of players up. Corns couldn't grab it. It's kicked out of the pack once more towards the centre of the ground. Robert Flower in front, can't get this one. Chance now as it goes out towards Max James, puts it out towards the flank there, and Corns looked as though he's going half pace there, but he's got it. Puts it over to Hodgman. Hodgman into the pocket. Here's a chance for South Australia. On the beat from Bennett. Result 1 goal. Beautiful play by South Australia to give them their 2nd goal.
Picked up by Victoria's Bartlett. Up towards full forward, and Templeton on the lead has taken the mark.
So give him a little latitude, Frank.
Oh, yes, he only wants to have his kicking boots on Templeton, and Victoria would be well and truly in front. Well, the breeze would be practically over his shoulder now, and the distance would be about 55 to 60 metres out. kicks on its way, right up to the square. Chance for Dempsey, but the ball is forced for 1 point.
Kevin, excuse me, Frank. Graham Corn's playing at full forward. Bit hard for Ruck Rover to rest there, isn't it?
Yes, he's got to be leading in that area too. I would personally prefer him in the forward pocket, but they're making a lot of moves, South Australia, moving around quite a lot.
Well, the ball out towards the left half-back flank outer side of the ground, and a good mark by Victoria's Tuck. Victoria at 2 goals 8, South Australia 2 goals 1, 17-minute mark in the first quarter of play. Good kick from Tuck, edge of the square. Oh, the ball off hands, taken by Bartlett. Oh, and snaps truly with good anticipation from the Victorian Rover for a goal.
Kevin Bartlett hasn't been on the ground very long, but he's made his impression straight away. He read that ball well off the pack and scored an easy goal for Victoria. And Bartlett's an experienced interstate player, and he's possibly one of the fellows that will get them going in this quarter.
3-8 Victoria, 2-1 South Australia at the 17-minute mark in the first quarter, and bad luck there for Dexter Kennedy. Got the hit out, but it went the wrong way. There's Malcolm Blight into the game, the centre, trying to get that team going and holding the ball against Malcolm Blight there, and Schimmelbusch to take the kick. And there's the skipper, a 60-metre kick, a brilliant kick, looking for Dempsey, thumped away, and that's the only way South Australia can play it. Oh, well done, Gary Wilson. Cloak, he's smothered. Out it goes to the flank once again. Templeton getting away, and he's having another shot for goal on his own. Puts it in towards full forward. As Frank said, if he'd have been online, he'd have kicked 4 or 5 at the moment, and once more, he has put it through for the minor score. And the back certainly giving the Footscray full forward and Victorian full forward a lot of latitude. Kicking to come once more. Not many leads offering at the moment. There's a kick from Sorrell. It goes right out towards the far flank. Gary Wilson very close to the line, and now the ball's out of play.
A throw in midway between the right half forward flank and right full forward pocket outer side. Cloak to do the work, but it's tapped away by Button of South Australia. Goes down to pick it up again. Hodgman, left foot up towards the left centre wing, but coming down for Victoria to take the mark is Foles. Victoria 3-9. South Australia 2-1, coming up to the 20-minute mark. In towards centre half forward. Templeton again. Snaps this time with the right boot. Dempsey shepherds, and it's another goal on the board to Victoria.
Bill. On the half-forward flank, Jonas comes in trying to get it. No, he can get a clean hit out at the moment, and umpire Capes will bounce it down 30 metres in front of the South Australian goal, and we're at the 19-minute mark in the first quarter. South Australia needing a goal here to stay in touch. Big pack of players around the ball. Bennett gets the hit out. Victoria sharked the ball away. Out it comes towards Turner. With him is Morris. Great mark, Jeff Morris. A beautiful mark by Jeff Morris on that right half forward flank, but he's a long way out from goal, and kicking in the lieu of the big grandstand here at Subiaco Oval. A good 50 metres out. Only a small player and playing on a very speedy player in Turner. He's gone for that left foot. It's sweeping in towards full forward. It's a good kick. And the umpire Capes has seen an infringement up there.
Yep, to Malcolm Blight.
And the kick is going to Malcolm Blight, and South Australia say it couldn't go to a better player. You can see the white line there, but he'd be about 10 metres out. And here's a great opportunity there. 5th kick coming up to Malcolm Blight. He's certainly making his presence felt out there. There he is, a Gary medalist, Brownlow medalist, coming in to have this shot. Looks pretty good from here. It is. And the 3rd goal of South Australia.
It was obvious that they were holding Malcolm Blight down then, because he usually goes for a big fly when the ball goes up into that area, and they gave away a valuable free kick, and he made no mistake about it. He's put it right through the centre, and he's certainly an acquisition to South Australia. His brilliance and ability to lift the team, and he'll have to be closely checked.
Well, Victoria have got Dempsey back on the ball again now, together with Dunstan, number 7. Dempsey watching Button, number 30, very close. Wilson, the Victorian Rover, lurking around. It's Button who taps, sharked by Rains. Victoria up to full forward, more a chance. South Australian defence on this occasion come away through Sorrell. Out wide towards the left centre wing. Oh, must be interference out there. And Robert Flower already playing well for Victoria on that right centre wing with a free kick. Up to full forward, Templeton again. Gains possession, Tries to hand pass to Bartlett, but the South Australian defence come away now through Taylor. Wide to the outer side of the ground. Flower a chance. Is he paid? Umpire capes, whistles, and the Flower is awarded the mark.
Great player this, Frank.
Oh, brilliant player. Kicking towards centre half forward. Corns, a chance also on the ground now for South Australia through Taylor. Gets it over to Lindsay, a short kick. South Australia pretty desperate in defence at this stage, and umpire capes gives the free kick then to Gallagher. South Australia up to centre half forward. Oh, good mark by Jonas. Quickly onto the right boot, up to full forward. One out duel between Blight and also Kelvin Moore. Blight a chance, gains possession now. Oh, nobody in there to help him at all, so he decides to do it on his own. Brilliant football by Malcolm Blight. Deserved a better fight. Only 1 point results. 24-minute mark in the first quarter. Victoria 4-9, South Australia to 3-2, and the crowd here giving Blight the applause that he richly deserves.
Yes, and certainly deserved it, Frank. There's Jonas in front again, but he can't mark it. Robert Flowers in there too, so is Gallagher. Very close to the line, the ball to be thrown. Well, this game's come to light now, 33 points to 20, and South Australia kicking against this breeze in this first quarter, and a little bit of light rain at times. Button in front of Dempsey, and Button using the body very well. Out it comes to Peck, and well thumped on. Back it comes to the centre towards Michael Tuck. In there is Morris, and well done by Jeff Morris. He's well tackled. Lyons is the umpire. Picked up by Turner. Turner's kick goes to a half forward. And this time Sorrell in there gets the better of Templeton. Oh, he's put his teammate in trouble on the half forward flank. Lyons is umpire capes. He's letting it go at the moment. And finally we'll bounce it down centre half forward spot for Victoria. Well, players on both sides throwing themselves in there. Cloak in there. Up goes Corns. Out comes Corns. He hasn't got the ball. And the ball's still in the scramble there. Picked up by Ebert. Out it goes to flank, and a good mark to Gallagher. South Australia playing better at the moment. Towards half forward. Player looked as though he was edged out. And the free kick must go to Victoria. Yes, it goes to Max Crowe at centre half back.
Oh, got a bit of from Rick Davies when Crowe was coming through, but he didn't flinch. He's going right on with the business now and drives Victoria to centre half forward. Cloak a chance, off hands to Dunstan. The backup very quickly by Turner. Bursts towards full forward, has kicked truly to bring up a goal to Victoria.
Good play by Michael Turner. He's been battling hard on that wing there, and he read the ball well and received a good hand pass, and he's put it through. The goal was well shepherded then by Templeton.
Well, just under the time on period is there, as you can see. 26 minutes in, 5-9 to 3-2 in favour of Victoria, and as we said, got the breeze in this quarter. There's Michael Turner. I'm sure that his father, Leo Turner, ex-Geelong player, would be very pleased with the display of Michael Turner today. Back with umpire Ross Capes. Dempsey still on the ball, opposed to Button. Button gets the hit out this time, but they're not directing the knocks to South Australian ruckman. They're being picked up by Victoria. Ebert takes this one, puts it up towards half forward. Lyons is the umpire, taken by Hodgman. A long kick towards full forward. Chance for Blight, but he can't mark it. He's bustled out of the way. Warwick Irwin puts it out towards the flank. Over further field to Jeff Rains. And he's got an open paddock in front of him out there on the scoreboard side. Using pace, Jeff Rains puts a long kick towards full forward. High in the air was Phillips, couldn't mark it. Picked up by Wilson. Into the pocket it goes to Schimmelbusch. He centres the ball towards full forward. Underneath it as Kennedy takes his eyes off it. Out goes Terry Moore. Good play there by the South Australian backs, and Max James gets them out of trouble, but it goes to Michael Tuck.
Well, Tuck will have the ball now between the left centre wing and the left full forward, the left half forward flank, and in towards centre half forward, and the mark has been taken by Cloak. We'll see what happens. We can notice that Harms is in a lot of trouble there, right behind the play at the centre half back position there for Victoria. Our cameras might pick him up later on, but we'll see now and concentrate on number 16, Cloak, and wait to see whether he can get the distance here from about the true centre half forward position here at Subiaco Oval. The long kick's on its way. Distance, but not accuracy, for 1 point only. So Victoria are 5 goals, 10. South Australia 3-2, and there you can see the Victorian here in Harms in a lot of trouble. Looks like he's got a bit of trouble with that left ankle there when he came down pretty heavily after bumping Malcolm Blight, and he's in a great deal of trouble. The ball on Victoria's left half forward flank, taken by Turner, up towards full forward. Oh, brilliant mark there by Corns. That was a desperation mark there, and great play by the South Australian ruck rover, and moves the ball now out towards the left half-back flank on the outer side. Schimmelbusch leads in the race, comes around beautifully then onto the left boot, and then decides to hand pass to find Tuck, who's loose at right half forward flank. Tuck towards full forward. One-out duel here between Moore and Kennedy. On the ground, picked up by Irwin. Open goal, and a 6-pointer on the board to Victoria.
This is where Victoria excel. When that spilling ball comes off the pack, then their rovers or half-forward flankers read it well. And Warwick Irwin is an opportunist and took that ball cleanly and put it right through the centre.
Yes, he's a pass master, Warwick Irwin. There he is in the middle of the screen there. And 3 goals they've got from the ball coming off hands to the bottom of the ground there. 6-10 Victoria, 46. Lead South Australia 3-20, 3-2-20. And there's bad luck for Victoria, and young Wayne Harms being carted off the ground there in this opening quarter. Russell Ebert trying to take it away. Hodgman does. Puts a long one towards half forward. Graham tries desperately to get the kick, but it's going out there to Billy Picken for interference of the umpire. The crowd don't like it, but Picken's got the kick. It's a long one. Looking for Cloak. Plenty of South Australian players here, picked up by Phillips to Hodgman. Left centre wing. Puts it up towards half forward, but in the way once more is Foles, and he takes a mark. The South Australian forward line a little bit lapsed at the moment. Foles from half-back, kicks it towards a wing. Underneath it is Corns, and he takes another mark. Graham Corns, left centre wing, scoreboard side of the ground. South Australia needing a goal before the siren. There's their skipper, big Rick Davies, playing at centre half forward at the moment. Centres the ball towards Hodgman. He's in the true centre half forward spot. Here's a chance further field for Ebert. He puts it in towards full forward. That's a good kick, and there's the 6-pointer that the Southies won it.
Class play then by some good South Australian footballers. Corn started it, got it over to Davies, who in turn gave it to Hodgman, and Ebert, who is a class footballer and playing an excellent game at this stage, put it right through.
Well, Russell Ebert there coming back into the centre of the ground after that effort, and he's certainly showing the benefit of the experience that he's gained in Victorian football. Bounce down on the centre. Moore in, but it's tapped away again by South Australia's Button. Victoria move it to the left half forward flank. Looks like a little bit of interference there, and there was. It looked like Taylor was watching Wilson very closely, but right in front of the umpire, Wilson to take the kick. It's a long one. Edge of the square. Cloak a chance. Good strong mark by the Victorian centre half forward. IG got well down the ground there in a hurry, and a good strength mark. Sirens going, and Victoria have a chance to kick this goal from the boot of David Cloak. Shouldn't miss it from here. David Cloak goes right through now to give Victoria quite a handy lead at the quarter-time break. They move on the board at quarter-time to 7 goals 10. South Australia 4 goals 2.
Franco.
Well, and going down the ground, and Bruce Lindsay, the rover, he's done everything that's been required of him. He's a courageous player, and he set up a few goals for South Australia, and they need a few of them, particularly in this second quarter.
Malcolm Blight showed a lot of inspiration too to his teammates, and certainly this Victorian-style football has helped them.
I wonder what David Parkin would be saying to his players down there, Kevin.
Well, I don't think he'd be happy with their quarter. All right, they have 7-10 on the board, but they fiddle around with the ball too much, Frank, and they can show a lot better form than that.
Well, the main kick getters on the ground at the moment. Jeff Rains heads it on the half-forward flank there with 9. Michael Turner with 6, Blight with 6, Ebert with 6, and Lindsay with 6. So Rains with 9 is the main kick getter on the ground, and a lot of other good players out there. We said Robert Flower there with 5, and David Cloak with 5. And I think across the centre of the ground, there's players like Robert Flower, and down the forward line to Irwin. When the ball hits the ground, they were good players, Frank.
Oh, no doubt about that. And the goal that Bartlett kicked, I think Kevin made mention of this, how quick the Victorians get the ball to boot right in that forward area, and they know how to snap goals, their Rovers, when the ball hits the deck. And to me, this is just the difference between the two sides. I feel at this stage, just watching them play in this first quarter, Bob, Victoria got the edge for pace around the ground. To me, they're winning in the race to the ball on a lot of occasions.
Well, yes, I agree with you there, Frank. There goes the Victorian coach, David Parkin. And Kevin, I notice they're still persisting with their number 1 ruckman and captain, Rick Davies, at centre half forward.
Yeah, which is unusual because last time they were here, a chap called Peter Murray, he played there and went particularly well. Andy Bennett had a run there at times, and as a matter of fact, he gave them a bit of drive at centre half
not
forward.
Victoria. Yeah. Okay, 7-10 to 4-2. Ready to start this game now.